Good morning. It is 6:59 a.m. on Thursday, October 15th, 2015. This is Christiana Ellis. I am, and this is. I guess that's something people say sometimes, although it's a little weird now, sometimes a phrase will just suddenly seem unusual. Like, this is Christiana Ellis, as though I'm referring to someone separate from me. Um, I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So I got a flu shot yesterday. Let's see, the Band-Aid does not show up terribly well in the early morning light of my webcam. There's a Band-Aid there, if you couldn't see it. I typically do get flu shots when they come out every year. I wonder if, like, not that I don't think that they're useful to get, because obviously I do. It would be silly to get one for any other reason. But as far as like motivation to make it happen, as opposed to believing in the abstract, oh yeah, I ought to get a flu shot. Um, I think part of it is really just a little bit of a reaction to people who are anti-vaccine, and that bugs me. Like, it's one thing to have sort of an irrational suspicion of modern medicine, which I don't share, but I get it, I guess. It's medicine is one of those things that we don't always have a good handle on, and it's complicated and hard to understand. And it seems like, doctors, even the ones that are the best, are often still kind of struggling because every person is a little different, and so medicine seems messy in that way. And so I guess I can understand how that can create the perception in some people of medicine being mumbo jumbo, or even worse, like conspiracies. And at the same time, at some point, I feel like I don't believe in conspiracies. Not to say that some conspiracies can't be real or that things can't be secret, but at a certain point, that makes less sense than the truth, which is just that everyone is kind of doing their best to muddle through, and some things are actual science. But yeah, so anyway, my shoulder is just a little bit sore. It's not bad, but it's definitely, I can feel it, when I do this, like it makes a difference. And there's a part of me that likes to pretend that my shoulder's dislocated, like I was in an action movie explosion or something, and I'm going to have to at some point, do the weird like, and then I'll say, ow, ow, and then, oh my gosh, it feels suddenly better. I have no idea if that's what it's really like when people get their shoulder dislocated, but that's certainly what it's like when it happens on TV or in a movie or in a video game. That happened in Metal Gear Solid 5, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so in any case, I'm not really suffering from, that's another thing that some people tend to think of with, like, I had a coworker that I remember, even though he worked in the same industry I do, namely in the pharmaceutical industry, in the technical part, like he's an engineer, and yet he objected to the flu shots on the dual basis of they don't do anything, and also you just get sick afterwards. So that's a common thing, is people saying, oh, well, I just, you get a flu shot and then you just get a cold afterwards, or you get the flu from the flu shot, and that's just nonsense. It's true that some people can have a stronger reaction following it up, but it's different from saying you get the flu or even getting the cold. Like, lots of times it might be it being cold and flu season, you were getting a cold anyway. And it can, be a little bit uncomfortable. But I don't know. This stuff is complicated, you know? I try not to judge people too much for weird beliefs on these things. You know, I mean, I might have a few of my own that don't seem weird to me, but you would think so. Um, just in the sense that it is kind of confusing and complicated and hard to fully understand what's going on. And so I get it. But that said, vaccines are a public good. They are well understood scientifically. Um, Statistically, it is way better to get them than to not. And your immune depressed people who are unable to will appreciate you getting them so that they are not exposed to germs that could kill them. And remember, the flu is something that is easy to kind of laugh at, but it happens all the time. People die from the flu. That's real. That does happen. So maybe it's not common, but it's also something that you can take some steps to prevent, like getting a flu shot. Now your vaccine sermon is concluded for today, and tomorrow we shall read from Climate Deniers 10:15. Okay, gotta get it ready for work. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.